LA County Hospital. I guess it's a USC Medical Center now. But I was raised in Pasadena, Pasadena, all the same thing to me. Only divided by Woodbury. Man, I loved it. I lived on like a cul-de-sac. It was probably 20 houses, but about 40 kids. Yeah, it was great. Shoot, we could get together, play ball all day long, go play Palm Street, go play up at Edison. Man, we played everything. There weren't no video games. We played backgammon for a little while. We played chess. We go outside, play strikeout, play some football. I mean, man, it was great. It was. I don't think anything was better. My kids do not have what I have as far as all of the friends right across the street, right next door, just to play with every single day. I mean, you have older ones that kind of lead the way, then you had the younger ones that followed you, but yeah, they just don't have that. Man, I went to Sierra Mesa, which turned into, I got shipped over to Sierra Madre in the 3rd grade. Then I went to Edison. And then I had to stay in Edison 1 extra year in 7th grade when they had that McWilliam. I had to stay there all the way till the 7th grade. Then I went to LA for 8th grade. And then I was a Dean of Dog the rest of my life. Man, after college, I worked at Leroy's Boys Home, where I worked with kids more in the DCS program, Department of Children's Services, taken from their families. They needed a lot more help than I can give them because there was a lot of emotional needs. I transferred over or moved over jobs to Optimist Boys Home. Liked working there a lot better. I dealt with kids more on probation. They had simple criminal records. But one thing I noticed that all my kids on my caseload from 12 to 18 all really kind of had the same problem. They couldn't read. They couldn't read well. So I figured the biggest impact I was going to have was if I can get to an elementary school where I can catch them at 8, 9, 10, 11 and make sure that at least when they leave me they could read, they'll be okay. Because you got to be able to read. So I mean, I'm a strong advocate for kids leaving elementary knowing how to read. I mean, most magazine articles, internet articles, newspapers, they're not written at more than a 5th, 6th grade level. So for these kids to make it, they had to know how to read. So I left my, I guess, goal to get into probation, and immediately I was like, I'd rather be a teacher. Now I've been doing it 19 years. I'm at Norma Coombs Elementary, across the street from Victory Park. After teaching for 7 years in LA Unified at 75th Street Elementary School, I came to Pasadena 03, 04. Started at, what school was that? Noise at the top of Allen. Then I went to Burbank for a year, Hamilton. In 6th grade was shipped off to middle school, no more 6th grade and elementary. I went to Washington Middle School for 4 years, and then I decided I wanted to come back to elementary for the same reasons I mentioned before, the fact that I wanted to impact lives by making sure these kids can read before they get to middle school. I saw the effect of kids not being able to read in a middle school setting. And if I could just do my part, at least the 30 some odd kids I get every year, I can make sure they can read before they get to middle school, because there ain't no more reading. You don't go to reading class in middle school. You go to English, you go to history, you go to science. You're not taught how to read. You got to know how to read when you get there. So that's why I came back to elementary. I'd probably say no. There's a love of kids. I really love teaching in LA, and I wasn't from LA. You catch a bond with the kids, and no matter what, you just want them to do well. Every single kid I've ever had for 19 years, I feel is mine. Even the ones I taught in LA, I'm friends with them on Facebook. They find me. We chit chat. We instant message each other. I want to know how they're doing. I love Pasadena, but when I taught in LA, it was the same. It was the same. I love those kids to death. You know, I wanted to shorten my drive. I got married. I moved to Glendora. That commute to South Central was long. So, and I knew people in Pasadena, and I had great teachers in Pasadena that kind of I want to be like them. You know, if you don't mind me talking about, I had a science teacher at Elliott named Miss Dixon. And when I wasn't doing well in her class, she got permission from my mom to take me home every day. And her husband, who was a scientist at JPL, helped me with my homework every day. It's a little emotional because she wasn't a great teacher because she made everything simple. I thought she was great because she believed in me. And that was the only thing. I mean, I've had great teachers, but she was the first one. I was like, you too good to flunk my class, and I'm gonna make sure you don't. So I thought, you know, that was cool. And if I could get that back, I'll be all right. Oh, absolutely. My little girl already wanted to be a teacher. I just don't think there's anything better than giving back. Don't get me wrong, I mean, having a lot of money probably would be great, but I don't think I could ever be happier with the job. And this is the truth. I've never felt like I work. I never feel like, oh, it's Monday, or I can't wait till Friday. Even with my worst kid, I'm on the freeway, I'm in traffic, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna reach him today. And I might say that for 180 days straight. I'm still thinking, I'm gonna be able to reach him one day. What could we do to be more cohesive? You know, I've been out of the loop so long, I don't even know kind of like what the gang situation is in Pasadena, but for one, we have to leave that alone. I know as a teacher, I'd love to see all my black parents at back to school night, volunteering to go on field trips, donating a little time to the classroom. Kids see whose parents are here and whose aren't. Kids know when there's an event at school if they show up or not. You know, it's kind of weird, but like growing up, I didn't have a traditional family. You know, I didn't have mom and dad. You know, my mom gave me away so a friend could raise me who was in a better situation. So, I mean, I don't know, I looked at shows like Happy Days or The Cosby Show and heck, The Brady Bunch. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have that. So I don't know what it is within a person, but I enjoy sitting down at the kitchen table helping my kids with their homework. I enjoy being at back to school night. I went to back to school night when my kids was in high school because teachers need to know these kids got somebody that believe in them. That there's somebody at their house that's pushing them to do good things. You know, it's not all about sports. Everybody brags about their kids and their sports accomplishments when there's so many African American academic scholarships going unclaimed. You know, I think it's a whole lot easier to get them a little tour and let's grab some of them scholarships. You know, it's not everybody's going to the pros. And I think there's almost a misconception that if you ain't good in some type of sport, you can't even go to college. And that's so far from the truth. I mean, I played sports in hopes of going to college because we really couldn't afford it. But I knew I wasn't going pro in anything. But I always knew I was going to college. And more important, I knew I was going to finish college. And I think that needs to be not conveyed to the kids as it's such a dream. Going to college is not a dream. It's something it's an expectation. So, man, for us, our goals for our kids should be expectations. Like, this is what's expected of you. You know. Man, I wanted to get into administration. I got my administrative credential. I just don't know where I would make the most impact. Whether it's going to be in the class or in an office. I'd have to make some more contacts with some principals to see, you know, as far as where they feel their biggest impact is. I only have about 10 years left, and I guess I wouldn't mind going the administrative route. I just think that being in the classroom is probably, with my outgoing personality, with the way I see I can connect with some people, I don't know the impact that I would have. Everybody, well, I'll speak for myself. I don't ever think of how a principal treated me. I always think about how the teacher treated me. So, yeah, no, you know, my goal is, even after 19 years, is to be a better teacher this year than I was last year. To have each and every kid make a step in the right direction as far as getting ready for middle school. You know, I just kind of, I don't know, I like that as my responsibility. And I think I'm pretty damn good at it too.